to come and pursue a dream that has become a reality today. I think this is what the founding fathers want. That somebody like me will come and have a shot at the American dream, which must become a reality, because if the dream doesn't become a reality, you continue to dream. And one of those things I want you to know tonight, which I know already, is that education is the foundation of every one of us that are sitting here today. Without education, you and I will not be here. I'm an engineer by profession. There are teachers here, there are doctors, there are nurses, there are attorneys. Without education, you will not be anything. The traditional education that the founding fathers gave us is the one that we must be able to continue to pursue. The issue of critical race theory is the no-no in our education. The state of Texas is number 5 on the union. The United States of America Education Index is number 22. How can the greatest nation on earth be there? This is what woke me up about a year, 2 years ago, even with the pandemic, that all our children, they are pushed out of school without being able to read, write, and do math. What kind of education are we giving them? So this is one of those things. I'm a son of a teacher who taught for 36 years. And it was a discipline that he instilled in me that is still working with me today. I want you to know that the state of Texas needs people like me. I'm not just coming to talk. I want to go and do action to make sure the teachers, the students, the parents, the public, and the Texas Education Agency are put in check to do the right thing for the people. I'm not going to go there as a bureaucrat. I'm not a career politician. I'm a patriot like you. I'm a parent like you. I have 3 children in the public education. I want to give the parent the choice of their education. I want them to have 100% interest in their children's education, not any teacher or any government policy to direct their education. And I want teaching profession to become a lucrative profession again. I don't want to throw our teachers under the bus. I want their wages reviewed. I want them to have incentivized welfare that they will use so that they will be able to instill more discipline, more knowledge in science, tech, engineering, and math, and in civics, and in right history that the Founding Foundation wanted, so that our children can become a product of future that you and I can rely on. I don't want to retire tomorrow and have a delinquent generation that cannot stand on their own. We are not going to talk about what has happened already, because if everything they have done before is good, doing fine, education policy now will be better in the state of Texas. But let me tell you something, you need somebody to go and ruffle the feathers. That is what I want you to see in me. I'm going to make sure we put policies, we will tap into the permanent education funds to cover the budget shortfall. We will make sure that we reform our schools. We will cause STAR tests to be reformed or abrogated. No child left behind, or every student succeed act. They are just bumper sticker slogan or catchphrase that will produce children that cannot stand with other children in the world on a global stage. So therefore, I want you to look at me tonight. If you cannot hear my voice, hear my heart. I want to be your advocate as a parent, your advocate as a son of a teacher, your advocate as somebody who have students in a public school, so that we can reform our education. We can give security to everybody in their colleges, in their schools, and make sure that at the end of the day, the way and the manner that the education policy of Texas go is number 1 in the union, and nothing comparable to it, and take America back to where it's supposed to be as the most exceptional country in the world. So I want you to go to ayobami.com and give me your votes. Come on Valentine's Day. Make it a Valentine with me, and I will represent you very well. Thank you very much. God bless you.
So I have to say, we had the most questions come in for this race. So if you guys approve, I will send you the list of all the questions. We're going to ask you 2 tonight, but there must have been at least 15 questions for this race, and everyone was so interested.
Bring it on.
I will send them to you, and then we'll send them back out to the membership and everyone that's here, so you'll have the answers to all of the questions. So, first question, how much time have you spent talking to teachers and visiting schools?
Wow. Let me tell you something. Everywhere I've been to during this election campaign, I've met teachers and I've instilled confidence in them. Many people that are teachers now, they don't want to even continue with their teaching profession. They are looking for another job. I want them to be able to balance their life, their social life, their economic life, their private life, and with their school life. So that when they go home, they will sleep at peace and come back the following day to teach our children what they need to know. Not radical ideologies, not those ones that are politically correct, but what they need to do so that they can produce a future generation that can be a bedrock of the greatest of our country we have ever lived. Thank you.
So, to restate the question, how often do I talk to teachers? Every single day. I am a teacher myself, and it is my job as an instructional coach to talk to the teachers in my department, to talk to my fellow instructional coaches, to talk to district leadership, to talk to campus leadership. But y'all, of course I'm running for the State Board of Education for 11 counties, not just one school district. And part of my commitment in this campaign is I'm not just talking to Republican clubs. We can't just talk to the people who we know are going to support us. In this time, when we almost lost in 2018, came this close, when we did lose in the city of Pearland, we need someone who's willing to talk to the people that we need to win back, and our teachers are at the front line of that. So when I get off of work and my campaign starts at 3:15 every day, I don't just go to Republican clubs. I go to school board meetings. I go to PTA meetings. I talk to teachers. I talk to parents, and I get the information on the ground, not just in Dickinson, not just in Galveston where I used to teach, but everywhere. I talked to Coach McKeska, my uncle here that actually has taught at Junior High West right down the street for many years, far longer, most of my life I think at this point. But I talk to the people who are on the front lines of education because like we said, there's a crisis going on right now. Just 2 days ago, one of my teachers broke down in tears. The behavior in her class was that bad because of the push for virtual schooling in the past that now we have developmental delays in our kids. Now we have achievement delays in our kids. We need someone who has done intervention groups, who knows what it takes to get a kid from here to there quickly, to catch up to where other countries are at who didn't pursue some of our disastrous shutdown policies, to be able to bring us back to the best education system in the world. I have that experience in the classroom. I want to share it with the state of Texas. Thank you.
How much time have you spent talking to teachers and visiting schools?
Okay, so y'all, I've told y'all I've been serving in education for years. I am not new to this. I have talked to thousands of teachers. I have visited hundreds of schools. So I had a video about critical race theory that came out earlier this year, and the video went viral. And so since that time, I have talked with over 5,000 teachers in the state of Texas via Zoom call, traveling all over the state, talking with teacher groups. The liberal media, our fake news is going to tell you that teachers are quitting right now because of COVID. That is a very, very, very small percentage. Teachers are leaving education right now because they don't want to teach this liberal, radical left indoctrination to children. They don't want to separate their little 7-year-old second grade classes into skin color groups and teach one group that you're an oppressor because of your skin color and one group you're a victim because of your skin color. They don't want to teach first graders 8 different genders so that they can pick which preferred pronoun they prefer to be called. Okay, teachers are leaving because teachers want to educate children. They want to teach reading. They want to teach math. They want to teach science. And the other thing is the lockdown that we have kept parents off of campuses is ludicrous to me. I have so many studies that say that parent involvement in education is key to a child's success in the classroom. I have a wonderful study from Harvard, actually went to Harvard, participated in a study with them. It's called the Harvard Literacy Study that says that you must have parent participation for children to be successful. And so we have to get our school campuses reopened, get our parents back on campuses, get our pastors back on campuses, and get our youth pastors back on campuses. And I'm very proud that I did that plan in my school district where we created the Superintendent's Pastors Council, and our youth pastors and our pastors were put on campuses every day during the lunch hours. Because when you bring the church and the schools back together in the communities, wonderful things happen. So to that answer, yes, I've been on hundreds of school campuses. There's a wonderful lady here that I had the honor of naming a school after, that she's here with us today. But yes, hundreds of school campuses, and just this year alone, I've talked with over 5,000 teachers across the state.
Our next question, what contribution can the State Board of Education make to help retain and improve the morale of teachers?
Okay, well, I think I may have just covered that again. Improving teacher morale. Y'all, our education system was not designed for teachers to work alone. Our entire education system was designed for parent support and designed for community support. So this whole idea, again, of keeping parents and keeping the community off campus is ludicrous to me. I serve on another board called Heroes Hope Foundation. And Heroes Hope Foundation, we provide PTSD counseling and support for veterans. But what we've realized, we just expanded that to teachers because we realized our teachers are also going through PTSD. This has been very traumatic for them. We had the shutdown, right? They were separated from their students. Then we went to virtual learning, which a lot of schools were not set up to teach virtual, because that was a big stressor on the teachers. Then we had Snowmageddon, right? Which, the shutdown, the freeze, school was shut down. I mean, we've had a lot of things. The past 2 years have been hard on teachers. So number one, what I'm going to tell y'all, number one, pray for our teachers. Pray for them. It is a God-given gift to be a teacher, and they need God's grace every day in the classroom for our children. Number two, thank a teacher. If you see a teacher, and Danny, I'm going to tell you thank you. I know it's hard. I know what he does every day in the classroom is hard, and I appreciate what he does. Like I said, as someone who's employed and hired over 3,000 teachers, I know what Danny's doing in the classroom. So the other thing is thank a teacher, but then we need to provide our community supports for our teachers, and we need to provide our pastors on our campuses and provide counseling for our teachers. A lot of teachers are suffering from PTSD. The other thing I'm going to say, is this my closing one too? Okay. The other thing I'm going to say is I am the only person in this race that filed for this position against the current incumbent. Because when good people do nothing, evil wins. And you have an incumbent in this seat right now that told us all he was conservative and that he was a Republican, and he has voted for transgender curriculum in junior high and high school. He has voted for science textbooks that teach the Green New Deal is science, and he has voted for civics textbooks that teach the best way to end poverty in Texas is a redistribution of wealth. We do not have time to not put a proven conservative in Austin defending our children. You'll never have to worry about what Julie's going to do. I've been through the fire. I've been called every name that the liberal left likes to call us a name in here, and I'm still standing for you. I'm standing for your children, I'm standing for your grandchildren, and I'm standing for conservative values in education. God bless Texas.
Shoot me the question one more time.
What contribution can the State Board of Education, or you, make to help retain and improve the morale of teachers?
All right. So a lot of what Julie said rings true, especially with the parental involvement. And just like she thanked me for being a teacher, I want to thank Julie for being a passionate parent who stood up for her children's education as well. Y'all, teachers can't do it alone, and they need meaningful parental partnerships. Now, the question, as I understand it, is what can we do at the statewide level? And the State Board of Education, I mentioned at the beginning, has 6 different roles. One of them is reviewing the rules proposed by the State Board of Educator Certification. I know, shocker, Austin made another board instead of just directly giving someone the power to deal with it. But there is a board that determines the standards for educator certification. And I believe strongly that we need to go to Austin and advocate for a pay raise for teachers. Unfortunately, that's not something I can give you. I wish I could promise you the world, but that's going to be your state legislators. Go talk to State Representative Ed Thompson and other folks like that. But what we can do as a State Board of Education is we approach the legislature with this pitch. Our teachers need help, but we also need to raise the bar for what our teachers learn. Y'all, I might suggest that the reason we might have rogue teachers teaching critical race theory is that we haven't inoculated our kids from a young age against it. Kids are not taught social studies in elementary and early middle school. It's often shoved aside for the next high-stakes standardized test. What we need to be able to do is raise the certification level of teachers, propose stronger rules that require perhaps a higher pay scale if you attended an institution of higher learning for your teacher certification. If you did an actual internship instead of 2 weeks of online classroom and got shoved into a classroom. Y'all, these are the things that I've seen that we need in the classroom. We got to couple it with a pay raise as well. But on our end, that's how we raise the bar. We need to be able to teach civics again. And that's not going to happen unless we have someone who is ready on day one to rewrite the civics curriculum. I have taught the founding documents. I have taught the free enterprise system. I have taught the principles of the Constitution. Now I want to make sure those things get taught across the state of Texas. Check out my website, sermonforschools.com. If I didn't give you my literature, make sure you stop by my table right over there, and I look forward to talking to y'all the rest of the night. Thank you so much.
The first thing is restore the dignity of teacher back to teachers. Allow teaching profession to become great again. Review their wages and create an incentive or welfare for teachers that perform excellently well and produce great products for the state of Texas. And last, you must allow the teachers to be part and parcel of decision making in the STAR test. We don't want an agency just bringing the test and them teaching towards passing the test. When they just teach towards passing the test, the children will come out like they are not smart. Now, create opportunity for vocational skill education. Many of the students may not be academically sound, but they should have opportunity to have equal and equitable access to vocational skill education. Allow teachers to teach vocation too, and make sure teachers can balance their life. You know, they can't be looking for a second job after the whole day job. They cannot go home and begin to cry about whatever they need to do and look for another job to pay their bills. No, we must do upward review of their wages every 3 years and create opportunity for them that will make them happy that they are teaching their children. Because you and I, we are products of teachers, especially traditional way, not those ones that are teaching radical theology or radical critical race theories or those ones that are politically correct. We want to identify the best of our teachers so that they can produce the best for us, for our generation that is upcoming, your children, your grandchildren. And I bet you I will be an advocate for teacher because I'm a son of a teacher and I respect teacher because teachers made me whatever I am today. I have obedience and allegiance to God Almighty to serve humanity and to serve the people, the public, in a way that 4 years from now, the rate at which we are going, you will be proud of Texas and proud of our educational policy again. And that is what I'm bringing to the table. Look at me and vote for me. Hey, Ayobami.com for more information. Thank you and God bless you.
Oh boy. We're going to try to do a 7th inning stretch, but I think those candidates brought the